Welcome back. We are here with our 1510s recap. This went by so fast, I swear. In 1510, to get started off with, we had Amory Gamal be born along with Susanna Dubois, who is now in pink. Her older brother, Heath Dubois II, became a toddler. The three children from the Light royal family, including Barbetta Smith, Alphonse Light, who is now the king this year, and his sister Augusta Light became children. Albert Landgrab became a young adult. Althea Goth ended up passing away. We had a lot of deaths this year, despite no major events. Eastlake Morrison died, as well as King Henry Light. That's how his son inherited. And Leonard Peacock, and also Marquis Christian Dubois, not that his son didn't already inherit the title. And then Kennedy Dubois married into the Landgrab family. We have Eleanor training to become a knight. We have her coming out into society, meeting people. We are meeting the Light parents, the royal family there. We are having no sparks between Tobias and any of the ladies, but he did become friends with Violet, so he tried to tell Gabriel that he wasn't feeling the ladies, and meanwhile, Gabriel was creating a scandal with Kennedy. Tobias realizes that he was gay, and Eleanor had no progress in becoming a knight, and then Gabriel got engaged to Princess Diana Light. In 1511, we had Gabriel's affair child, James Albert, be born to Verena. Osric Gamal was also born. Beatrice Gainsford became a toddler. Sybil Peacock aged up as well. Oh, she was so gorgeous. King Henry VIII became a young adult, along with Hughie Gamal, and our very own Gabriel Larkin becoming a young adult so that he can get married. Elaine Landgrab also, she's so beautiful. Gosh, all these Sims, Isla Dubois, all of them gorgeous, gorgeous. And then Diana Larkin became our wife. She also aged up into a young adult at this time. We had Gabriel's birthday to start off the year. We had Eleanor and Nicholas meeting each other. Verena finding out she was pregnant and trying to get Gabriel to marry her, but unfortunately for her, he ended up marrying Diana instead. Then Tobias and Violet started a plan to get away from their respective families. Diana and Siobhan started fighting over Lady of the House. The Albert family started making demands, and Nicholas came a-calling on Eleanor. In 1512, Albert Landgrab II was born, along with Susanna Dubois becoming a toddler, and of course our James Albert becoming a toddler. I don't know why that picture looks weird. Caspar Albert became a teenager. Kinley Dubois aged up as well. Leticia Goth became a teenager. Some of these I can't remember if they're teenagers or young adults. William Dockra II there. But you know what? That's fine. Werner Albert also became a young adult, and Violet Watson, who is Tobias's new friend. Verena Albert became a young adult along with Tobias Larkin, finally old enough to get married. This guy, Hector Landgrab, aging up despite not being able to get married. Elizabeth Watson also aging up, and then unfortunately Amory Gamal did pass away as an infant. We have Diana and Siobhan becoming enemies. Gabriel having Verena as his mistress, taking care of her and the child. Tobias and Elizabeth talking about the truth about their arrangement. We have a swoon from Eleanor to Nicholas. Diana gave birth, and unfortunately the baby passed away. We had to change the deal between Elizabeth and Violet so that Tobias could marry the person he wanted to marry. The stepmother wasn't so happy about it, but we all got over it, and Tobias and Violet got engaged instead of getting engaged with her sister, who was then woohooing with Diana, and Tobias finally aged up. In 1513, this was a wild decade, huh? Cesaria Larkin became an infant. She was born and became an infant. Merrick Gamal also became an infant. Paulina Landgrab became an infant. Some of these kids were probably born this year. Albert Landgrab II became a toddler along with Osric Gamal, and then Princess Mary aged up. So we're not really following her, but here she is. We then had Tobias and Violet's wedding, so because they have, an arrangement now. They're all very happy, making friends, having a good time. Tobias is able to live his best life. Eleanor and Nicholas went out on a date and ended up autonomously woohooing. Eleanor got the talk from Siobhan, and it's like, well, you got to get married now, but Eleanor wasn't worried about it. Gabriel was continuing to go around with his mistress, who Diana then made enemies with. We have baby Caesarea, who was born and became an infant this year, since last year the baby died. And then also Elsabeth ended up getting married anyway, so she married into the Landgrab family, I believe, so she was good. In 1514, Drogo Gamal became an infant. Paulina Landgrab became a toddler. Merrick Gamal became a toddler as well. Heath Dubois II became a child. He is thriving. Emil Watson became a teenager along with his sister Honora. They both aged up. And then Alexander Goth III finally became a young adult so he could get married. Hans Albert ended up passing away, much to the Albert family's grief. Kinley Dubois then ended up getting married to Alexander Goth. We have Gabriel breaking up with Verena because she's too much drama. Diana continuing to go around with the ladies. Christmas, so they had lots of gift exchanges and stuff. Nicholas and got engaged to Eleanor. Elaine Landgrab then became our official mistress. And we are having this conversation about having sons, which I don't get why they're all so obsessed with it, but they were during that time period. In 1515, Isolde Gamal was born, and Justina Landgrab also was born. Our very own Caesaria Larkin became a toddler, very exciting for us. Saphira Peacock became a teenager along with our Lionel Larkin, who is now a teenager, and then Gracie Dubois as well. As for the young adults, Thora Knight aged up. She also got married. I forget to who. It's in the family tree. Cassandra Gamal ended up passing away in childbirth, devastating, along with Drogo Gamal. And then also Verena Albert was killed this year. So we ended up finally having our twin boys, but unfortunately for us, both of them ended up passing away. We had Caesaria's birthday, the only happy thing on that day. A new love for Siobhan getting in with the Peacock family since they are getting close to the king. Diana ended up murdering Verena, and we are making some more friends here. A woohoo for Eleanor. She's getting married anyway, so what does it matter? But it does matter because Nicholas, turns out, does not want her to be a knight, and she is feeling stuck because Gabriel will not support her. And then we had Lionel's birthday. So, good year, sort of, kind of. A little bit of not really. In 1516, we had Arthur Landgrab, who was born also. Then finally, the king had a living child. This is Princess Mary. We also had Olivia Larkin be born this year. All girls for us still. Sarah Goth was born. And we have Isolde Gamal becoming a toddler. As for the children, we have Beatrice Gainsford and her sister, I believe, Juliana Gainsford. Susanna Dubois also aging up into a child. As for the older kids, Ingleaf Gamal and our Eleanor Larkin becoming young adults, dressed in green, loving Eleanor in green. She's so pretty. Nicholas also became a young adult. For the deaths, we had the entire Peacock family, Sybil Peacock. We also had the knights, the elder knights, Sir Alan Knight, and then Saphira Peacock, Loudon Peacock. All the peacocks were killed for not being able to deliver the king a son with their magic. Probably Gabriel's fault, to be completely honest. And then also, like I said, Lady Emmeline Knight also passed away with her husband. As for the day, we had Eleanor getting married to Nicholas, and we had our baby girl being born. We have both of these men as failing to get sons. We had the execution of the peacocks And then we ended up being able to send away Siobhan. Diana got rid of her for being related to the Peacock family now. In 1517, Petronella Gainsford was born. That was Eleanor's first child. Sarah Goth became a toddler, along with our very own Olivia Larkin. And then Arthur Landgrab became a toddler as well, along with Albert Landgrab II and becoming a child, and Osric Gamal becoming a child. As for the deaths, we have Herr Leifer Gamal, the last living parent of the Gamal children, very sad. James Albert ended up being murdered. We'll see that in a second. And then Kinley Goth did end up dying in childbirth, unfortunately for her. We have some more fights over the gender of the babies. We have some career choices being figured out by Lionel. Diana ended up killing little James because she was mad that she didn't yet have a son, whereas the mistress did. Lionel then found religion and became really enamored with the church. Then we had the birthday in 1518, getting towards the end of the decade here. We had Alexander Goth IV be born, finally a Goth heir. Also, Venetia Gainsford was born, and Petronella Gainsford became a toddler. Merrick Gamal became a child, along with Paulina Landgrab, who also became a child. Unfortunately, our Diana ended up dying in childbirth, and then the Gainsford Marquis and Marchioness ended up passing away, giving the title to their son Giles, who is Nicholas's older brother. We have Elaine really enjoying her position as mistress, but becoming enemies with Diana, of course, because Diana cannot stand anyone else. We have arguments over Lionel's career choices. So Lionel was forced to kind of meet some ladies, and he met Ingleaf, who then became friends with him and invited him to like a church Bible study group, which he really enjoyed. Then we finally had a boy. We had twin boys. They both survived, but unfortunately for Diana, finally giving Gabriel that boy, she ended up passing away in childbirth. In 1519, the most recent year, we had Gabriel Larkin II become an infant. Unfortunately, his brother Bryce did not survive. We have Venetia Gainsford becoming a toddler, along with Alexander Goth IV. Then our Caesaria became a child. Look at how gorgeous she is. Caspar Albert became a young adult, along with Leticia Goth, who unfortunately rolled to not get married. And then the entire Docker family was killed in a fire because I lost them somehow and I don't remember what I did with them. So William Docker II, William Docker I. Lionel, unfortunately, also died during a glitch in the game. So he ended up passing away on the way to his mother's house. Grace Dockra, Henry Dockra, and of course Rowena Dockra all passed away. And then we had Lionel thinking about, becoming a vicar or something. We have some woohoos with Elaine. We have our cute little girls learning their toddler skill. How perfect are they? We have a new relationship for Gabriel, a nice widowed baroness, and then he meets her family. He ends up breaking Elaine's heart because he didn't choose to marry her. We have Caesaria's birthday. Then Lionel tried to leave to his mother's house, but unfortunately died along the way. And Gabriel, of course, bragging about being able to have a son before the king did, because he's a jerk like that. So, next decade, we are going to do a lot of stuff. Obviously, we're going to have a new wedding. I don't know if there are any like actual events next year. Maybe I should make some events, but we are going to have a wedding. We are going to change everything for everyone. I'm very excited to see where it goes, and we'll start bringing more religion and stuff into the game, especially because that's going to become an issue historically. So lots of stuff going on. Really excited about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this decade, and I will catch you in the next one.